Leaving your family church. Uh-oh. Hot topic. Leaving your family church. What's going on, family? Want to welcome you back to another Real Talk with your boy JT. I pray everybody's doing well and having a wonderful, blessed day as we off top. Give the Most High Yah all the honor, the glory, and all praise and worship. Brother Darren, this is a video response back to you, my brother. I can put myself in this email and what you're going through. And I know with this video, I'm about to make a lot of family members mad. Whether it's in my family, your family, whoever watched this video, because y'all ought to know me by now. I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't care how you feel, and I do this out of love because I love you. I tell you the truth. Y'all hear me say that a lot. A lot of times, see, I was brought up in a family church. In the church, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see a lot of confusion. You're gonna see a lot of ego. You're gonna see a lot of titles. You're gonna see a lot of people stuck on power because it's always the kid that's in leadership position. It's always the kin folks, and anybody else that join the church that come through the door wanna, share their ideas. A lot of times they get brushed off because they are not in the family. Family churches love to keep it in the family. Regardless if they are qualified for the position or not, they like to keep it in the family. And I'm gonna say something very bold here. The best thing I ever done is left my family church years ago. That was the biggest blessing in my life. I love them, but I had to go. I had to make up my mind, and when I left is when the door opened. The blessings started coming left and right. Had I would have stayed there, I would have got worse and worse. Would have kept going down. Would have never elevated. Would have been stuck on the love that I had for family because that's who on the organ family, who the head deacon family, who's the pastor family, who's the secretary family, who's running Sunday school, who's doing all these things in the church family. And they hold on to this stuff. And you know what's the saddest thing? So many people that hate going to the church, they sit up and gossip and talk about how bad the church is, but yet when morning comes, they right there in there cheering it on. Family churches, you'll see some of the most biggest there are. They love to run things. So the longer you stay there, of course, they're gonna brainwash you. You're a musician, okay? I told you I could put myself in your shoes. I started out as an usher. I was on the usher board. I always played music, but I also love being a servant. I love to greet people. We loved we was ushers when we was teenagers. And I was ushering and playing the keyboard. But they made me make a decision back then. They said you can't do both. You either gonna play the piano or you're gonna be an usher. Family church once again. So of course I quit being an usher and it was the piano. But I looked at how controlling family is. And soon as I started going to help some more people, left my family church all the way. They criticized the hell out of me just for going to help somebody else. And remind you, wasn't paying me nothing. And that's how family do you. Our kinfolk do it for me. It's amazing how they'll tell you as a musician, don't worry about getting paid. God gonna bless you. Do it from your heart. You know all the stuff they tell you. But tell them to quit preaching. Well, let me say this the right way. Tell them would they preach for free. Uh oh. So I ain't talking about everybody, because I know some preachers, pastors that they don't charge no money. They preach for free. They pastor for free. They have regular jobs. But the ones that do all that mouthing, out going off at the mouth, ask them what they preach for free. See, family know what to say, how to say, and when to say, and they the love that you have for them, it keeps a hold on you. And I had to break it. I pass by my home church pretty much every day. I look at it, keep going. I see some of them same folks who's been in there for years. And you have to ask yourself in these family churches. Once again, I'm not talking about all, but these ones that's so jacked up, you got to ask yourself: are they growing spiritually, Hmm. or is it they just been doing it so long, being in the building, more concerned about the building but not the body? Don't want to let nobody else teach. Don't want to let nobody else preach. Don't want to let nobody. It's always a competition. Family church. Well, fighting over who gonna preach. Who gonna take over when the pastor dies? Or the pastor just happened to sit down argument. Well, his son. Why is it when a pastor have a son, they always think their son is lined up next? It don't always work that way. First of all, you. First of all, was your daddy even called? We better understand what's going on out here and been going on for a long time. There are a lot of people. Boy, you sound like a preacher, encouraging them on. Boy, you next in line. Now you done told somebody else what they about to be in ministry, and that may not even be what the Most High have for them. This is why we got so many preachers now, so many quote unquote these entertainers who are feeding your emotions and not your soul. Family churches love to stir up mess. And if you really catch it, they never get to the root of their problem because they don't really want to address each other and realize it's your own family that's destroying that church. Your own family. And when you have that type of pastor, knowing that, well, this is my family, this is my baby brother, this is my oldest brother, we all in leadership position, and knowing that they're wrong, and you're not going to sit them down. I'm gonna keep telling y'all this: when the pastor's out of order, the whole church is out of order. So many people have left their family church because they got to the point where they got sick and tired of all that mess year after year after year. Some of y'all know y'all ain't spoken a long time. Money is always coming up missing. Lies on top of lies. You get caught up in these same old outings that you go on, these 3:30 services, these revivals, these musicals, these pastor and wives anniversaries. Y'all know the tradition of what goes on. And it just constantly go on year after year after year. But who's really growing spiritually? Who's really studying on their own to show themselves approved unto the Most High? That's why you got so many people that's been going to church for so many years and they still are lost. Keep it in the family. I have so many people call me, and I've been knowing them a long time. They've been going to that same church 40, 50 years. And I don't know why they want to call me, and they think I want to hear that mess all the time. I'm a great listener, but I also have a cutoff point because I'm gonna start looking at you like you're a fool. Why you keep going? You still saying the same thing 25 years later. Why you still going? Well, that's my home church, man. And yeah, that was my home church too. Peace. I wave at them all the time. No love lost here. But I know when y'all told me to move, I had to move. And see, you'll miss your blessing by not moving when the Holy Spirit say move. Who do you love more, your kin folks or the Most High? Who you gonna be obedient to, your kin folks or the Most High? Did it hurt my heart when I left? Oh yes. In 1998, and not once did I look back because I knew once I left, I had to leave the right way. I had to make sure that I'm right before I leave. And like I say, when I left, it was the biggest blessing for me in my life. Even though I still went through a lot of mess with other churches, let me tell you something. There is no such thing as a perfect church. There is no such thing as perfect people. And if you think for once you found the perfect church, it ain't gonna be perfect once you walk through the front door. Somebody catch that on the way home. Every church have their ups and downs. But one thing I love about a real pastor that's sent by the Holy Spirit, a real pastor will put that mess in check. A real pastor will sit folks down. A real own home and all that. He's gonna check himself. But see, when you get and you keep doing what we call man's way, which is gonna go against the Bible, tradition. Y'all hear me say this all the time. What no such thing as in the Bible you finna vote a pastor in. That pastor, look at the divine order of the Holy Spirit. I choose Paul. It ain't up for discussion. Timothy, it ain't up for discussion. Titus, it ain't up for discussion. Whoever the Most High chose in the Bible, they didn't have to by certain members or the congregation or what the deacon board said. Let me say this again: deacons don't run the church, but these are these out of order churches that you continue to see. They operate out of order all the time because they do not follow the word of Yah. They follow traditions of men, which the Bible say tradition of men. Tradition of men makes the word of Yah void, none effect. Do you know how many family churches have been boarded up? See, when I was coming up, everybody I know want to start their own church. And I remember making this one preacher mad, and I still say this to this day. You got enough buildings up. You need to straighten up the hell out of the buildings that's already up instead of keep putting up so many buildings. Because I say that because in the black community, y'all know how it is. Come to Dallas. Go to Oak Cliff. Go to South Dallas. Come over here. You'll see 6 or 7 churches on one street. And I guarantee you, the majority of them don't even fellowship with each other in the rundown neighborhood. But everybody talking about they're about God's business. This is just true. I got to start me a church, brother. And half of them that started came out of the one that they got mad and left. Took a few members, took 1 or 2 deacons, started up their own. Family churches always go downhill. With JT, they keep getting members. They gonna get members, no doubt. But if you look at what goes on, a lot of them always getting members. How many of those members actually stay? And it always wind up going back to your same old family. I've seen this so many times in my life. But that's my time, y'all. I'm still working on getting this modem and router fixed right so we can start back up the live chats. But with that being said, y'all just keep in mind what I'm saying in this video. Sometimes these family churches are the worst. And they will keep a lock on you so hard because the love you say, but you got to be strong and bold enough to learn how to move on with or without them. That's not right. I don't care if it is your uncle church, your granddaddy church, your papa, your dad, or whoever. I don't. If it ain't Yah's church, what are we talking about? And with that being said, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Shalom.